as a community can do better.
What do you want to tell your children about this moment?
We need reforms.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network, we stand together.
Everybody's here together, black, white, brown, everybody.
A platform for progress in our community.
We need to do a better job.
I want to show that we can be peaceful.
This is just as much our fight as it is yours.
Discussing the problems of racial inequality and solutions to combat discrimination in a conversation for change.
We'll be able to build on this.
I never in a million years thought I would embrace a cop like that.
From Wish TV, we stand together.
IMPD Chief Randal Taylor has been a police officer for more than 30 years, and he has told us that during the last night's edition of We Stand Together, policing has changed since he first put on that badge. And in the second part of our one-on-one interview, the chief opens up to News 8's Phil Sanchez on the pursuit of creating safe neighborhoods.
We were with IMPD Chief Randal Taylor as he paid a visit to the municipal gardens on the west side.
Why are places like this good for the community?
Well, I mean, it gives mostly juveniles an outlet, you know, a place to socialize, have fun, and have some good role models, older role models. Sometimes it's our officers, sometimes it's just people that work here, and it's a safe place typically. So some place for them to go and have some fun.
Yeah. Do you think that places like this help in community policing?
Definitely. So we've had basketball tournaments here that were semi-run by our officers, joint efforts that allow us to get out and meet the kids, you know, and then have a good conversation with them. So these are definitely important. And not only this one, but you know, we have JTV Hill, which is one of our facilities further on the east side that we do these things with. But all the Boys and Girls Clubs and all those different places, we have those relationships with them and usually have a pretty good time with the kids.
Yeah. How has COVID affected places like this?
Well, like I said, typically when I come through here, there's a lot of kids through here. Same thing with our JTV, but with COVID, they don't get those same opportunities. Nice to see these young men out here playing basketball, but and this is part of a summer initiative, which is really through Shauna Major's group in conjunction with the Parks Department. So they'll be open a little bit later. They'll have to limit the number of young people that are out here, but they'll be able to be out here till about 11 o'clock tonight and have some safe fun. But yeah, COVID has taken its toll and somewhat worrisome, right? Because you want the youth to be able to have some safe outlets, and unfortunately, I think a lot of times since this may not be available to them, they end up going downtown or different places that really, at least late at night, we don't really want them to be.
After our conversation in the municipal gardens, we took our conversation outside.
We were talking before, you've been on the job 33 years.
Yep.
Let's start there. How has it changed since you got on 33 years ago?
Well, granted, so I started in a lot smaller city, Champaign. At that time, it was about a 100-man department. And it was a great department to work for, but it was very young. Not a whole lot of opportunity for any kind of upward mobility. But, you know, back then, and in that, so it's a university town, University of Illinois is there. A lot of diversity, which is one of the things that I really liked. So when I went to school and came up through there, I've never been a stranger to people of all different races.
Yeah.
And my parents worked at the university, so I get to know some of their colleagues as well. So I really appreciated that about the city. From law enforcement standpoint, from then to now, there have been a number of changes, some for the good and some for the bad, right? Yeah. Either I didn't recognize it, or I'm sure it was present, but you know, we didn't have a lot of, there wasn't a whole lot of racial issues there that bled into law enforcement. So I'm sure there was some racism that existed, but it wasn't from the standpoint of protests and those kind of things. So that wasn't present. But of course, we haven't had that here in Indianapolis for a long time either. Yeah. But you know the problems exist. So now it's just more up in your face, more at the front portion of things, which, you know, in my estimation, is not bad either. This is probably the time to to make some moves in the right direction. I think in police work, I've always been taught, and I think I've always known that the police department is not stagnant. We have to move, we have to change with times, with what the community wants and needs, and that's what I hope to give in this role as chief. But I have to balance things, right? And I have to balance what's best for the community, but also what's best for the officers. So both sides are going to have to come to the table and try to work things out. I'll do my best to mediate as much as that is possible. I think I have a decent understanding of what the community wants. They have concerns about their safety with officers, and I get that totally. What they have to understand is, officers are under a lot of pressure. They deal with the worst of the worst many times, and I think people have to understand what they're going through as well.
So, in speaking to that, you were 100% behind getting rid of the no-knock warrants.
Yeah, so, I heard the community's concern about that, but the thing that really helped with that as well was our officers didn't like it. Officers didn't feel that, felt that it put them in danger as well. So this is one of those things, certainly we would have addressed it just if the community was the only one that needed that change. But in this case, with the officers wanting that change as well, it was really pretty simple to take that out of policy and decide not to go with that. So hopefully the community will be happy with that. I know our officers are happy with that. They're a good group. The officers are. They know how to move around and keep themselves safe and still be able to protect the community as they're trying to fight the crime.
Let's keep walking for a second here. So when you hear politicians or people in the streets say defund the police, how does that make you feel as an officer of 30 plus years and the chief for almost a year now?
Well, 7 months, really.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that word, defund the police, because it seems totally punitive to me. Something that happened with officers somewhere else are going to affect us. And our budget is not fat. I think if people look at it, they realize there's not a lot of fat on that budget. So if you're going to defund something, you'd have to show me where's the benefit to that? Because if you're going to take money out of our budget, it's going to impact them somewhere. Now, when people come to me and say, well, how about the word reimagine policing? Well, for some reason, for me, that's easier to get behind.
So why, for folks at home who maybe say, why do you need so many cops on the streets? From a policing standpoint, from a criminology standpoint, what is the thought process behind having a lot of uniformed officers on the streets? You hear one side that says it's a deterrent and the other side that says no, that actually works against keeping the streets peaceful.
Yeah, I've never really understood so much about why, how people think more officers is more is working against the system. We try to work it within beats. So we just expanded to 106 beats. The goal in that, of course, is to have more officers in that area and be able to deal with the community individually, get to know them, be out of their cars, do those kind of things, which I think is helpful. Now, if you don't like the police around, then my question is why? If you tell me, well, it's because police officers are always harassing us or something like that, then I would say, well, you got to let me know about that, because we'll do something about that part. But I think having more officers around to help out wherever they can is indeed the right solution. So I'm not for reducing them. Of course, we're also going to be in areas of crime. I believe everyone should have the right to live in this community, regardless of the socioeconomic background of that community. Should be able to go out on their porch at night, have a peaceful meal, or have great conversations, or those kind of things. That's what we want to be able to see. And if we have to do that from the standpoint of having more officers around to make that area safer for you, then that's what we'd like to do.
Our We Stand Together series will continue next week on News 8 at 10, and you can see all of our profiles right now online at wishtv.com.
From Wish TV, we stand together. Watch, read, listen, and be a part of the conversation online at wishtv.com and when you follow Wish TV on Facebook. Find more episodes of We Stand Together and other podcasts from Wish TV online anytime at allindianapodcastnetwork.com. allindianapodcastnetwork.com.